Hello, this is Lee Cummings, the author of the Negro Question book series. I've decided to start doing videos, like, sometimes do a video during the morning, maybe once a day. So I pick the time, like maybe between the hours of 2 and 3 p.m. every day. But this video that I'm doing today is a very unique video in that I would like to prove that King Charles II of Scotland, who was the son of King James the Sixth of Scotland, and we know that King James became King James the First of Scotland when he merged the two kingdoms. One thing that the white historians or the Anglo-Saxons will not tell you is that they always say King James the First of England, but they never mention that he was King James the Sixth of Scotland. There is a reason for this. So this is what you're looking at on the screen right now is a video that I produced with all the information that one would need to recognize that he is indeed a Hebrew Israelite. It's called the Negro Question video. You can get this at my bookstore. And I think I'm gonna start opening up all my live streams with this. I just like the way that looks. And again, I'm Lee Cummings, the author of the Negro Question book series. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to leave here from this share screen, and I'd like to add this one to the stage. Let me see. I'll get rid of this. I'm gonna stop this screen right here. And then what I want to do is this. I want to get right into it. I want to go right to the lesson because we're going to prove in this lesson that King Charles II of Scotland was indeed a black man. And we're going to make this real plain because the artifacts and the evidence, the available evidence proves that King Charles was a Scot. And so we're going to see this and we're going to make this real plain to you. See my entire screen. He's not showing up. And why is that? Hold on, let me go back here and see why he's not showing up. Share screen. Negro question. Charles Scott. Window. See if this is. Stop sharing. Give me a second, y'all. I have to. I got him up, but he's not showing up on the screen like he's supposed to. Let me get rid of this guy right here. And then let me go back in here and go share screen. Share screen. And we'll go this guy right here. So let's see now. Because this is probably this is going to be one of the greatest, probably one of the best videos you're going to see on King Charles. Here he is right here. I had to find the guy. I got so much stuff going on. So look, the title of this lesson is King Charles, or Black King Charles the Scot. And again, we're pushing the bookstore and we're pushing our products now. So, as you can see, we got the dictionary, the Paleo-Hebrew Question Dictionary that I created, that I wrote. It's copywritten. We just published Genesis Volume 1, which is also copywritten. Everything at the Negro Question bookstore is copywritten. And I have not given anybody permission to sell my books. If you see somebody selling my stuff, bootleg, jackleg, go to the bookstore, get my phone number, and call me. Now let's get to the lesson. The Black King Charles, or Black King Charles the Scot. Here's an image of King Charles himself. Now I know you don't believe this, but this King Charles here is King Charles is the son of King James. That's who he is. He is the black son of King James. King James of your Bible. I want to make sure I add it over here on this side. So this is Black King James, King Charles II. And if you go back, if you look at the information on the screen, it says King Charles II of England, the Black Scot. This image has been taken from the original South Carolina Charter, 1663. And what you'll find historically is these historians in these schools, we go to school, we have never seen the original charters that the Black kings of Scotland and England gave to the colonists. And you'll see that there are five. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 charters that there were 6 colonies that were founded by this Black King Charles II. Carolina, New York, I know you didn't know that, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Rhode Island. Here's an authentic image of King Charles II. Follow the cursor, and I blew it up on this side so you can see that this is one of the most incredible artifacts that we have. And you got to ask yourself the question. You don't even have to ask yourself the question because you already know the answer. They're making sure that we don't know that the brothers were ruling in Europe. What they keep doing is in February, they start throwing these little slave messages or videos or programs to try to reinforce in our mind that we were slaves even in Europe, but we were the kings of Europe. Now I want to move on from here to this next article or this next image of the brother, and you'll see that he is, when you look at the next image, this is an image of King Charles II. And what's so unique about this image is this is an effigy, a wax museum image of King Charles II from Westminster Abbey. And if anybody out there, whenever you decide, if you come on with me, because again, this is unannounced, but if you understand Hebrew, it says Westminster Abbey. Well, Abbey means my father, which tells me that these Scots and the Scots, the Brits, the Welsh, and the Irish understood Hebrew. So here's a wax image, an effigy of King Charles right here, a Black man. And here he is again. I blew his image up over here so that you can see him. So again, but the question is there any other information out there that validates this huge claim that I'm making today? So let's go back and see. It says right here it says, I took this artifact right here. Is probably one of the most precious artifacts that I have in my little repertoire, my little collection. It's called The Memoirs of the Secret Services of John Mackey. He was a Secret Service agent for King William, Queen Anne, and King George I. Now, George I was a Black German king, and I'm gonna prove that to you when we get down to the writings of Benjamin Franklin. But this Secret Service agent. This is his eyewitness account of King Charles, King James, King Charles, and his seed. Charles Lennox, Duke of Richmond, son of Charles I of Scotland, Black complexion, much like King Charles. So we start off with an eyewitness account that matches the artifacts that King Charles indeed was a what? He was a Black man. I don't want to read all this. Hey, come on back here. I don't want to read all this. You can read some of this on your tab. John Lord Somers, brown complexion. Daniel Earl of Nottingham, Secretary of State, tall, thin Black man. The Master Charles, Duke of Somerset, Black complexion. Duke of Buckinghamshire, brown complexion. Charles, Duke of Albans, Ford, page 40, first son of Charles II, Black complexion. So as you can see, the eyewitness account of this Secret Service agent is that these Black Scots, Black Brits, because a Scot, a Brit, and an Irish, they were one and the same. And I'm going to show that to you with a eyewitness account as we get through this lesson. We go to the next artifact, and what did we find? We see Professor Boyd Dawkins. Now, Professor Boyd Dawkins is going to give an eyewitness account. He's going to give his own eyewitness account of what took place in 449 AD. Now, the Gentiles, the Europeans, the Anglo-Saxons, the whites, all adjectives, nothing racial here. We don't care about race. In the year 449 AD, certain Englishmen came from North Germany and the southern shores of the Baltic Sea and pushed the Brits, the ancient name of England western. Well, Brit is an Aramaic Hebrew word. It means covenant. They named themselves after the covenant. By the year 607 AD, the English had pushed the Brits westward as far as Chester. Now check this out. I want you to remember this date. When the English came into the land, that's 449. This is attested by all their history books. 150, let me see, 150 years later, 607, they started pushing the Black Brits out of England, or in the blacks, and they started pushing it, well, actually the Black English down to Black Britain, down to Black Scotland, Black Wales, Black Scotland, and Black Irish. And we're going to continue to read this. The inhabitants of Britain belonged to very different races. Britain was inhabited by the Basques from ancient times, and they called themselves Roman citizens. Oh, so these Britons are the deported people of ancient Rome. In their books, where are their books? I put that in parentheses. They are called Britons or Welsh. There are two types of Welsh. One is dark and 5 foot 4 inches. The other is tall and round. The English pushed the dark Welsh Brits westward into Wales, Cumberland, Westmoreland, Highlands of Scotland. So Professor Boyd Dawkins is given the location of the blacks in England. So in England, around between the years 449 and 607 AD, it became a cosmopolitan landmass. What is cosmopolitan? Black and white shared it. But who was the root? Who was the king? We're going to show you. Now, I want you to remember this date, 607 AD, because it's going to come up in this article on my next page. I want to make sure that everything is moving like it's supposed to. Now, look at this article right here. This article right here, and this is a very unique article. And this comes from the Dictionary of the English Language, 1788 by Samuel Johnson on page 1. It says, and in this same dictionary, it gives the definition of swarthy as being black. You can fact check me. It says, what was the form of the Anglo-Saxons language when about 450 AD they entered Britain? No one knows the answer. They seem to have been a people without learning. They was dumb, without an alphabet, and that is my definition of a barbarian. Their speech always being cursory and extemporaneous. Must have been artless without any modes of transition or involution clauses, which means they had no vowels. You cannot speak a language if there are no vowels present. With abruptness and in connection can be seen in their early writings. This barbarity seemingly continued during their wars with the Brits, the Black Brits. The wars left them no room for studies. This continued to 570 AD. Now watch this number. Until Augustine came from Rome to convert them to Christianity. After 300 years, 900 AD, the Anglo-Saxons, the whites, learned enough to express themselves like a civilized people. So the whites in America and around the world have only, the Anglo-Saxons or the whites in America have only been speaking the language for 1,000 years, but the so-called Negro has been speaking a language for 6,000 years. Let's continue in this. This is not about race. These are just some simple facts. And it appears, oh yeah, I want to read this. I cannot not read this. Now, while the Anglo-Saxons were learning how to speak a language, our fathers were ruling Europe. This is an article from one of Benjamin Franklin's essays, Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind, the Peopling of Countries. All Africa is black or tawny. Well, in 1751, the Jews were in Africa. This confirms what we already knew. Asia, chiefly tawny. We knew that because Paul the Apostle was from Cilicia in Asia, and he was mistaken for an Egyptian. The tribe Benjamin, America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. That means all of America was black. There's no such thing as a red Indian or a white Indian. That came about with the poll tax. And in Europe, come on back here. I got a new computer touch tone. You barely touch it, and it runs from you. And in Europe, come on back here. The Spaniards, the Italians. I want you to hear this. In Europe, the Spaniards, the Italians, the French, the Russians, and the Swedes are generally what we call a swarthy / complexion. Swarthy is black, as are the Germans. This is the reason why I said King George II was a black man. They give you King Sophia. She was also a German. Also, the Saxons only accepted who with the English make up the principal body of white people on the earth. So Europe was being ran and populated by who? By black folks, black kings. And so King Charles II was a black king. He was Black King Charles II of Scotland, and he's only being remembered in history as the Black King Charles of England. I wanted to do this brief lesson, and I want to thank you for your time. It was a pleasure coming here. I'm going to start doing these little lessons daily. Don't forget to go over to the Negro Question Book store when you see this video. And we survive from donations and book sales, and we really need your help. And we're hoping that you don't forget about us. And God bless you. And have a great day, a great evening, and don't forget God.